I'm Jason Hoffman. My goal is to help you have the confidence to just press go live. So here it is, folks, the one we've been waiting for, the old-fashioned shootout between the newcomer, the Emeet StreamCam 1, and the tried and true, faithful champ, Mevo Start. Okay, so we're going to test three main things in this video. There'll be some other things toward the end that we'll talk about as well, but there are three big ones: video quality, audio quality, and how this software really works in comparison to one another. Now, before we start, I do want to let you know there is one thing about the Emeet StreamCam 1 that just drives me nuts, and I really hope they can get it fixed before too long. And there is one thing about the Mevo Start that absolutely drives me crazy, and it's been that way a long time. What are you going to do? All right, so video quality between these two cameras. As I am talking to you now, I have both of them in front of me. They're both 1080 sensors. They're both doing a great job of reproducing what you put in front of them. But I do want to point out one big difference between the Emeet StreamCam 1 and the Mevo Start. Now, if I point up here to the edge of the video screen, right there, that anomaly that you're seeing is the door frame of the closet in this room. Now, if we begin to look over on the other side, as I point towards the right-hand side of the frame, you're going to see my finger get to the very edge on the Mevo Start. Yet I still have quite a bit of room left before I get to the edge of the StreamCam 1. So we've got a wider field of view with the StreamCam 1 than we do with the Mevo Start. And for some folks, that is a huge selling point, because there are some folks who want to be able to post this up in front of their stage at the church and catch the entire width of what's going on in front of them. There are some people who want to mount this to a backstop behind home plate and be able to catch first and third base, plus some foul territory there, so you can see all the things happening on the infield. With a wider field of view, you're going to catch more of that, and the further away from the camera you get, the more you're going to catch. You do need to understand, though, that's going to make it seem like second base is much farther away on the StreamCam 1 than it is on the Mevo Start. And I do also want to point out that there is more vertical space. Now, we're at the top of the Mevo frame. I've still got a little bit of space above me on the StreamCam 1, and then we are at the bottom of the Mevo frame, and I still have some space on the StreamCam 1. So we've got a wider and a taller field of view on the StreamCam 1 than we do on the Mevo Start. But I want you to see the difference there. Notice you can see the top corner of this room up here on the StreamCam 1. You can't see it on the Mevo Start, but also it feels like, or looks like, on the Mevo Start, the corner is right there, but it feels or looks more like it's farther away on the StreamCam 1. So you've got more of a spherical lens, I'm guessing, on the StreamCam 1 than you do on the Mevo Start. That's just information to take in and decide how you're going to use it. Whether one is better than the other one, I have no idea. What I do know is how it reproduces me when I'm talking to these two cameras, as I am right now. So on the StreamCam 1, I have it on the original preset. I've changed nothing as far as how it's handling the image that's coming to it. On the Mevo Start, I have it tweaked just a little bit. I think I set it on high contrast and bumped the saturation up just a little bit. It was washing me out somewhat. I have gotten a lot of sun this summer, and so I know that the StreamCam 1 was giving me a more accurate skin tone, and the Mevo Start was giving me a very pasty look. I'm pasty enough as it is. I don't need any help with that. Second thing about the StreamCam 1 compared to the Mevo Start. Second thing is I'm a little narrower on the StreamCam 1 than I am on the Mevo Start. That may be true to life for the Mevo Start. I'm a rather wide fella. However, I've noticed that on several cameras. The Mevo Start gives me a wider reproduction of who I am. Whether it's true or not makes me no difference. When I see it in other cameras, I prefer that look. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that drives me nuts about the Mevo Start. I always look wider on it than I do on other cameras that I might use. So, video reproduction. We'll come back in a few minutes after I have viewed what it's given me in these two recordings. I'm recording each of these to their SD card. I'm running both of them, by the way, on my MacBook Pro M1 processor. It's running side by side. I've got the screenshot, the screen grab going on concurrently, so you can see the two different apps as they run side by side. There's not actually an iPad app for the Emeet StreamCam 1 yet, but the iPhone app runs fine on it. It just stays in portrait view all the time, and that's okay. Don't mind that a bit. The default zoom on the Mevo Start is 2.3x, 2.3 times. The default zoom on the Emeet StreamCam 1 is 2.5. So I've backed it off to 2.3 so that they match. But I do want to show you how you get to the zoom function of the StreamCam software. In the camera settings section, you can see this little icon, and that is your crop and zoom section. So you've got some settings in this section that we've seen before. Your default zoom, which I've reset to 2.3, and then your zoom transition time and your move transition time, which I have as a half a second for each. Zoom is going to zoom into the center if you're just using that without auto director, but then you also have the ability to, of course, tap on the screen and zoom, pan where you want to go. The difference in what it looks like zoomed all the way in is what I'm after here. How well does the hardware handle the pixel increase of zooming in, of cropping in? A digital zoom is always going to be a crop, and so your pixels are bigger, and you want to know how the hardware is, or the software is going to be able to handle that increase. What's it going to look like? And so comparing these two, you can see the differences there. And when we go into the zoom and move feature of the StreamCam 1, you're going to notice that we get a landscape view. Well, it's portrait still in the shape on my iPad. If I were working on a smartphone, I would just flip it over to landscape view and it would be fine. Unfortunately, I almost always stream from my iPad, and so it's just stuck in this odd configuration that goes up and down the side of the screen, flipped 90 degrees. That's my one thing about the Emeet StreamCam 1 that just drives me nuts, and I wish they would flip the app. They let it go ahead and turn. I know that doesn't translate well to a smartphone, so it's not going to happen. But so now that I've watched some of the video that I took just a few minutes ago, I'm recognizing that StreamCam has an issue with dropped frames. I saw this when I did the first video about the StreamCam 1, and I've already reached out to them, and they have replied twice about this issue. Their development team is actively working on trying to figure out why, when recording to a SD card, you're getting these drop frames. It will cause your audio to eventually go out of sync. It will come back into sync as it drops and picks up and tries to. Anyway, they do still have that software glitch. But let's go ahead and jump over to audio. So what does the audio reproduction sound like through the microphone that each of these offers? So let's start with the Mevo Start. I'm going to go in and check of what my microphone is. I'm set to speech mode, and I'm using the Mevo microphone that's built in. It's about just over 3 feet away from my mouth in a very live room. These walls will reverberate with the best of them because there's nothing on them, and so sound is going to bounce, and you're going to get some reflection into that microphone that the Mevo Start has on it. It's a 3 microphone array, MEMS microphone, and it does a fantastic job. But in a room like this, sometimes it sounds a little tinny, sounds a little brassy, and so you'll pick that up whenever we hear that. Now, the Emeet is going to come with 2 built-in microphones, good quality microphones that are on the camera. Right now, we're hearing the wireless mic that is included with this unit. If you've watched my other video, my intro video about the Emeet StreamCam 1, you know that it comes with a microphone that you can actually pull from this unit. Comes with a nice little dead cat. It is Bluetooth 5.0, nice long range. It charges magnetically when you set it on the top. You can clip it on your clothes, and you've got this kind of sound with the Emeet StreamCam 1. So audio is actually brought to the person when you use the Emeet. Now, you also have the 3.5 millimeter jack on the back, and have the option of plugging in anything that you would plug into any camera through that 3.5mm jack. So audio, you've heard it. You get to decide which one is a better deal for you, or which one doesn't make any difference to you, however it is that you see it when it comes to audio in these two live streaming cameras. Both of these cameras, by the way, are all in one. They encode, they stream, they record everything you need. You connect it to your control device, whether that be a tablet or a smartphone, and you're setting on go as far as streaming goes. So video, audio. Now let's look a little bit at the software that you're going to have from each of these. There is both an Android and an iOS version of both of these pieces of software. The Android version for the Emeet is not as far along. At the time of this making of this video, the Emeet folks are on version 1.1.4 on the iOS side. They're at 0.6.6 on the Android side. So it may be missing a few features, or they may be still working out some bugs on the Android side that are already fixed on the iOS side. It is a newcomer, after all. And on the Mevo Start, you've got a well-established, honestly, well-oiled piece of software that is several years into development, and it shows. So let's look at the two pieces of software. The features that are given on each camera are very much the same when it comes to the software, when it comes to what you can control and then what you can produce. Let's look at control first. So if I go into the settings tab on the Emeet, I just hit the settings tab at the bottom of the screen, and it brings over all these choices: SD card, auto director, zoom, input quality, video source latency, and then your help in general or about section at the bottom. SD card, of course, is your library. Auto directory is going to allow you to have when you have multiple cameras, allow you to choose which camera spends more time on the shot, how long those take, how they move between one another, etc. Your zoom and move is from within the one camera, and that's the default zoom level, your transition time, and your zoom transition time and your move transition time. Your input video quality, I can't choose this while I'm recording, but you need to know that it goes up to 1080p on both of these cameras. So back into settings here. Video source latency, I'm at low latency on the StreamCam 1, just so you can see as I wave my hand. They are really close to the same. So that tells me that the default on the Mevo Start is pretty close to what would be called a low latency on other software. So we've seen the general settings for the app in the StreamCam 1. Now let's look at the general settings in the Mevo Start. Now I'm going to have a lot of different little pieces. Whether they make a whole lot of difference or not, I don't know. You have a lot of audio control in the global settings for how any camera that you attach to this software is going to. App settings don't have a whole lot going on there, but then your Mevo settings is where you're going to find your most useful pieces of adjustment. The power button on the back of each of these devices is configurable, and I don't know that everybody knows that. But the action can be single tap the button for the Mevo, and it can record the SD card, or you can tell it to stream. When there's a network available, it will go ahead and stream to the last stream that you sent. It will just redo to that same destination. Single tap can record, or it can stream on the Mevo Start. Double tap on the Mevo, and you can turn on or off webcam mode, which is a great another feature. Now that same feature on the StreamCam is available in the camera settings itself, and the button can be told to record to SD card single tap, or the other configuration for that button is to show you your Wi-Fi signal. If you're setting these cameras up remotely and you're running a multicam setup, to be able to see how strong your Wi-Fi is where you just put your camera, it's actually fairly valuable. So that's a good choice. It's a different choice, but it's a good choice that you have there with the StreamCam. All your SD card control, is in that same area for the StreamCam, and then the very similar pieces of auto power off or external USB devices, power on or off with a USB cable. One of the extra features about the Mevo Start is that it includes NDI, and so you can turn on NDI and it can be picked up across the network, or it has RST also available to it. The alternate feature like that on the StreamCam is RIST. Is that the same as RST? I really don't know enough about it to know. Somebody tell me in the comments the difference between RST and RIST. But you have the ability to set your RIST URL there in the software. So now when we get back into the settings for what the picture looks like, let's look at similarities and differences there. So from the camera menu on the Emeet StreamCam, I can go into the image adjustment settings, and HDR is an option, anti-flicker. You can do your flip upside down or right side up, automatic on or off, your exposure metering, so you can set how it handles light to be the average of the entire shot, right in the center, or spot metering. You can mirror it horizontal or vertically in the Emeet StreamCam 1. And then you have your camera mode being auto or pro. In auto, you get filters, so that you have different looks. We can go black and white there. We can go cloudy, sunny on that. Origin looks great as far as I'm concerned for what I see in this room, for what I see about me. Then you have Pro mode, which gives you a whole lot more configurability, if that's even a word, in the app there. I keep mine on auto. I keep it on original or origin. And there it is. And so this top right icon here is going to be your multi-camera. Let's apply this to every camera that's connected to us right now. And then when we look at the image adjustments in the Mevo Start software, also we have several presets that will allow us to change what's going on there. Backlit's probably not the look that I'm going for, right? Outdoors, normal. I think I had it on high contrast, and then I bumped the saturation up a couple of notches to get the look I was going with there. And then you see all of the more specific configuration there above the filters. So you have good options when it comes to how you make this look. Auto Director in Mevo is in the same spot. Your audio controls are advanced. From one set of software to the other, the Mevo this is one of the places it shows the development years they've had to put this together. And so you can see that I have the option of running the Mevo built-in microphones. I can actually run the iPad microphone here, the control device that I'm using, and I have audio processing filters, general, music, speech, and wind, all within the mixer, the audio controls there. When I look at audio controls on the StreamCam, I just get an output slider, and I get this camera's microphone, whichever one it's connected to. I can hit the settings wheel and see my three choices: the internal built-in microphone, this microphone that is included, and then of course the 3.5mm jack. I can mute any of those, and I do want to make notice that on the front, the main screen of the Emeet software, the audio button there is a mute for the stream itself, which is incredibly handy for folks that are hearing walk-up music and they don't want to fight the copyright claim and they just need to mute everything for just right quick. It's right there on the front, and so that gets muted when you tap that button. It is directly related. It's also the monitor. It's directly related to the volume sliders on your. Yeah, so when I turn the volume up on my iPad, I start getting that loop of sound that comes in. So I have to keep that down, but it does give me that immediate mute for my live stream or my recording whenever I'm working in the Emeet StreamCam 1 software. Going live on both of these is going to give you the normal options of going live. You can go live to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, those main ones. And of course, RTMP is an option, so you can RTMP into just about anywhere that will take it, so long as you know your stream URL and your stream key. We've come to that time in this video where we have to declare a winner for this shootout, and I think it's obvious that the Mevo Start absolutely outclasses the Emeet StreamCam 1 because of the frame dropping issue and the audio sync that goes with that. When those things are fixed, these two are two very similar cameras. Different price point. The Mevo is still just under $400. The Emeet is going to come in at $250. There's coupons all over the place right now to drive that down a little bit lower, but their software is not yet ready for prime time with those frame dropping issues. Now, their software development team has been emailing me back and forth. We've been working on this for a few days, and I feel confident that they're going to come up with a solution that will somewhat level the playing field between the two of them. But when we look at color reproduction, I think you're seeing two very similar cameras. There are some features for the Mevo that I like better than the Emeet. There's some for the Emeet that I like better than the Mevo. And so ultimately, once all the issues are worked out, we're going to have two really good choices for live streaming on a budget.